Good morning, pregame crew. It is Tuesday, August 15th, 2023, 6:22 a.m. Mountain Time, 8:22 a.m. Eastern Time. Good morning. Welcome to the pregame show. This is a show where I go over indices, commodities, crypto movers, and shakers of the day. We're having a red overnight session. We have some data in 7 minutes. Hope you're having a great morning so far. Good morning, Greg, Tom, Jahan. Hey, Rob, 374, Casey, Martin, Marvin. I hope your stress goes down. Hey, Fernando, Topher, Jody, Behawk. Hey, Nugget, Slow Devil, Mike, Jungle Cat, Skyper. Thanks, Rob. Hey, Geo Guitar. Hey, Success, George. Yeah, China had some news overnight. They cut rates and they are red. Hang Seng is red. DAX is red and we're red. So we're having some trickle down effect, and Fitch did it again. Fitch downgraded our banking sector and came out with some negative notes on that. That'll make for an interesting day. I can look at it, Sandor. It's been pulling back pretty hard since the end of July. Okay, let me go back up to the top. Nugget has skunk issues. So sorry about that. No fun. Hey, Thomas and Diego. I mean, this looks fun. Second weekly inside bar forming. Looks like a little, probably a 2-week bull flag. Yeah, perfect little 2-week bull flag. Daily's going sideways, chopping here at the 21 EMA, and more closely resembles the Dow than the NASDAQ and ES. It's been holding up stronger. We broke the low of the prior day by 8 pennies. I would treat this as 2 double daily inside bars. And we've made enough room for a higher low compared to the low of day yesterday. It's not broken. Sorry about my loud water bottle. Daily squeeze holding the 50 RSI. It's pretty success. Success with a pretty trade chart set up again. UPST. Potential daily bear flag. I'm trying to remember what name did someone ask me about. Oh, it was SE yesterday. And they have earnings. And I drew this bear flag yesterday. And man, did it just have a Walmart fall apart moment. 47.58 is your next support. That was the one I was thinking of. Okay, go back, UPST. UPST is very similar. Potential daily bear flag forming. 28.99 is your next key support below $30 psychological. I mean, bulls have made enough room for a possible higher low compared to yesterday's low, but this is not what you want to see. We've got to start. The first thing we look at is market conditions. They're bearish right now. Okay, so then we look bearish on UPST. Then what does UPST tell us? Weekly's bearish, daily's bearish. 4 hours trying to get something going. Hourly is trying to get something going. But I've got to focus on that daily and higher time frame and know that even higher highs are more likely to be shorted and not get followed through because of the structure of this chart. It is not good. Hey, Basque Era. Hey, Hector. Malachi. Sam. Hey, Mitch. Sorry, Nightbot doesn't like a lot of symbols or emojis. I would say X definitely has a back burner setup. See, what has it done after hours? After yesterday's very large move. 5-minute got oversold in extended hours, so then I raised the bar. For 15-minute oversold during regular trading hours. So I'm going to go set that alert. Waiting for 30 RSI on the 15-minute. Scotty, I think you're saying good morning and you're not asking about GM. I think. We have data in less than 3 minutes. We have core retail sales and retail sales. Wait, why did that? Okay, it says 2 minutes here. So core retail sales and building permits. And then no, that's, what's today? Let me change my filter. Sorry, y'all. That just threw me off because I was looking at it on a different computer earlier. So today we have core retail sales, export price, import price, New York Empire Manufacturing Index, retail control, retail sales. And at 10 a.m. we have more data. So we have Kashkari speaking today. We have API estimates after hours for oil. Some DHI. Well, must mean their financials probably look good if Buffett's buying it. Weekly high or low is on deck for this name. Scotty doesn't know. Okay, it was a good morning. Hey, Trey. Looks like QQQ obviously had the bounce day yesterday, and SPY was weak comparatively because semis led the way up yesterday. So semis are definitely in focus. Let's go look at ES real quick before this data comes out in 1 minute. I drew Compton here yesterday, and it's a joke if you're new here. This is where the daily 50 MA is, and right now it's at 44.81. And we have a potential daily bear flag right here on ES. That doesn't look good, even though it's holding the daily 50 MA for now. And then look at NASDAQ. It has a potential daily bear flag below the 50 MA, even uglier. So we still have that 4-hour megaphone moment on NASDAQ, but I mean, look at this. We have plenty of room for 4-hour high or low. Let's see where bulls put that in, if they put it in at all. And on ES, your support is the low of Sunday night, 4465, and then the low of Friday, 4459. You're looking for a 4-hour lower high on a bounce and an hourly lower high on a bounce. So bears are still looking for 15-minute back burner, reverse back burner opportunities. Look what that provided. To the downside, when you got 15-minute overbought here. 15-minute overbought here. So watch for those reverse back burners on weaker charts. All right, let's clear this off and see what the data says. Then we'll get started with the show. No real response to the data, kind of muted. So these are mostly 2-star events except for the core retail sales and retail sales. So they're not really moving on this data right now. No big deal, little bearish. 4469, 4465, 4459. Resistance is 448375 and 4492. Good morning. Welcome to the pregame show. This is who I am. I'm Charkaluri. If you want to give me a follow on Twitter at Charkaluri, that'd be lovely. I'm part of the Chart Guys community, and we teach technical analysis. So we have a community of about 900 of my closest friends. We have all kinds of interesting topics like uranium, crypto, futures, commodities, whatever your trading thing is. We even got a Forex channel going thanks to Bennett. So whatever your interest in trading instrument is, we probably have a channel for it. We even have a marijuana channel. What I do here every morning is I go over the economic events, which we've cleared those out for the most part. 10 a.m. is next. And then tomorrow we have FOMC meeting minutes. I show you my table, and it shows overall what my thesis is. I'm looking more bearish today than bullish. I have my notes off screen that are saved for TCG members only. I do have some sketches to show everybody, and y'all can just about guess with my personality and drawing skills how great they look. So we are looking more bearish. Daily 50 MA, it's all about the 50 MA for me. And now we've developed a potential bear flag on SPY. And I'm watching Bitcoin closely. Bitcoin has some major pressure building. Do y'all see these orange dots? These just aren't any regular dots. This is when major compression is being built up in a name, meaning this sideways action is building pressure. So when this breaks up or down, it could have immense follow through. So Bitcoin is really building pressure. So if Bitcoin breaks down ahead of the indices, that could be a canary for the indices, and you could possibly take a laggard trade on that. So Bitcoin, you have a little hourly EQ. You have resistance at 29413, 29453. Support 29308 and 29227. I'm going to go ahead and go over Ethereum since we're here. We're breaking bear on the hourly chart. So Ethereum has the same type of compression built up, And we have not broken the key support of 1833 yet. Okay, so ES has enough room for a 4-hour higher low, doesn't mean it's guaranteed. And on bounces, bears are looking for lower highs on the hourly, on the 4-hour. So we're looking for a weekly higher low, but I'll be darned if the bulls are just not getting it done. They're not getting it done, period. They're just not. So the weekly higher low can be the more likely scenario, but we've got to see the whites of the bull's eyes to know that they have stepped up to the plate and they're nowhere to be found right now. And I have just a little snippet of something y'all may find helpful, maybe not. This was just me brainstorming this morning. I've done threads like this before, but I was thinking, what do professional traders have in common? And I watch a ton of videos. I don't just watch Chart Guys videos, which they're the best, haha. But I do watch other videos, and I'm constantly studying professional traders and what they have in common, because whatever traits they have, whatever practices they have, I want to constantly emulate and improve. So here's 10 things just off the top of my head this morning that professional traders have in common. Number one, they don't have the victim mentality. They don't use words like the Fed keeps printing money, or, you know, they went stop hunting. They don't talk like that. They don't talk like that with that whiny attitude either. Professional traders do not have a victim mentality. They understand how this game works, and they accept all the conditions that come with being a trader, that we have multiple market stakeholders that create this auction, and different forces come in and affect it. Bonds are really affecting the market. I don't have bonds on my correlation list, but it's really affecting the market, and it has been for over a month. They are selective with their trades. They have high conviction trades only. They flex their whole muscle. They hang on to a scale of a winner, and that comes with experience. They cut losses when the trade shows them they're wrong. That does not require experience. Number 4 does not require experience. If you're wrong, cut that crap. You stop losses. They judge themselves on processes, not outcomes. They say, did I follow my process today? Even if I was red, that's okay. I followed my process. They have a focus specialty of a set of tickers and or instruments that they focus on. They have a minimum necessary indicator mindset. They don't want 50 indicators on their chart. They recognize that ego has no place in trading while keeping their confidence in check. They size up when the setup calls for it. So when they see a conviction trade, they step up to the plate and they swing hard. And they prepare for the trade and they analyze after the trade. So those are 10 things that professional traders have in common with my brainstorming situation this morning. All right, so we're looking for the weekly high or low on ES. 4-hour lower high is a more likely scenario. So stick with the reverse back burner mentality, in my opinion. And I'll get to the most important stock of the day soon. Yes, I cover commodities every day. Not all the commodities, but the majors. Okay, NASDAQ, looking for a 4-hour lower high on a bounce. But I want y'all to look at this distance. Look at the distance that NASDAQ has to put in a 4-hour higher low from the low of Sunday night. We've retraced about 55%. ES, from the low of Friday, we've retraced about 85%. That tells me if I'm looking short, hear me out now, if I'm looking short, I'm looking at ES for 4-hour lower high top fish. And if I'm looking for some aggressive bullish 4-hour bottom fishes, I'm looking at NASDAQ. All right. Okay, RTY is already breaking the overnight high. RTY is weak, risk off mentality. That makes me a little more bearish on Bitcoin as well. We're losing the daily 50 MA. RTY is where you want to also look for 15-minute back burner if you could get it. They haven't even been able to do it. I mean, 10-minute back burner should get you there on RTY. So maybe RTY is a short even more so than ES. YM has lost some of its strength. We lost the low of last week, and now it's all about 35K. Ugh. It's all about 35K. That's going to be a key level for YM to hold. NASDAQ, it's all about 15K. Two clear psychological levels, and on ES, we're watching the 50 MA. What's going on with the dollar? The market is bouncing, and that tells me the dollar is probably pulling back here. Yeah, the dollar had a big spike on that news, and we're pulling back. Now a 2-minute lower high is the more likely scenario with the size of this pullback. And I knew that because I was watching oil at the side of my eye bouncing and then ES bouncing. So I'm constantly watching dollar. Dollar was not able to get over 103.54.3. Yesterday we hit 103.45. We weren't able to get over 103.57, excuse me. 103.57, we hit 103.45. We came within 12 cents of that weekly lower high. Now, is our lower high set on the dollar yet? Possible. If this 103.458, then the lower high is possible. And every time the dollar keeps opening this prison door and the prison guard goes away, the dollar bulls, they leave the prison door, the accused inside, the gold bulls, they're not making a run for it. So gold bulls are weak, super weak. All right, so we did our major four. VIX is very peppy this morning. Be careful. Fear entering the market. ZB is entering that. Nope, we lost it. 119 is your line in the sand on bonds. Bonds are super weak. That has led to a strong dollar and a weak market. Hang Seng and DAX I've already covered was red. I covered Bitcoin and Ethereum. Gold. What you gonna do with all that weakness? I don't know. Weekly, we lost the uptrend. We're losing the weekly 50 and 200 MA. They have until Friday close to reclaim that weekly 250 MA. Monthly is still an uptrend. They have until 1886 to hold the monthly uptrend. There are forces that are involved in gold that if you are not 1,000% versed on gold, you can get your butt handed to you. There are forces that want to keep the price down, so they're constantly net short gold. They're hedging. There's all of these different things that go on behind the scenes with every instrument for that matter, but especially commodities and especially gold. So just know we have a stair step on the daily. We'll get a bounce eventually, but I don't know if I'll be alive to see it. We'll see. Oil, I'm short, so gosh, I don't want to get rid of all these, but I'm going to have to get rid of them, some of them. So I've been watching this trend line. We broke bear. I stopped out of my short from yesterday morning. Let's see, I stopped out of my oil from yesterday morning, and then I re-entered my short. So that was at 8:15 a.m. Mountain Time. And then I re-entered my shorts 20 hours ago. So stop is at around 83.30, and I'm still in those puts. So I'm short oil, and I will cover half of those at open most likely. And please don't get me wrong, on the weekly, we're still looking for a weekly high or low, but I was playing this megaphone where we're getting these tiny higher highs without follow through, and it's working for now. Yeah, hit the like button. Okay. Daily, I don't know what to do with this chart. Nat gas is a mess. I don't have a trade on it. It has some megaphones forming on higher time frames. Just too messy for me. Okay, Apple. Okay, so I have marked off yesterday's high and yesterday's low, and we're right smack dab in the middle of it right now. This will be pretty key as to how the market resolves with this Apple situation. Now I'm going to use some props. Okay, let's do the other one. All right, so I go over with you the market conditions, and then we go over the name we're looking at in higher time frames. And then we look at lower time frames and we say, okay, let's mock up how we would get in these trade ideas. So here are 4 different, just super clear ways as to how you would enter a short. So if I'm looking short on Nvidia this morning on this gap up open for a potential top fish setup, Here's all the ways that NVIDIA could play out that I'd be looking for a short. So if you're only looking for the stair-step pattern and you get a rising wedge thrown at you, you will probably be thrown off. If you're only looking for a rising wedge pattern and a head and shoulders develops on a lower time frame and you miss it, you may miss it. Then we can just have straight up tightening patterns where you look for those top fishes on these. That's not what I want. Where you look for these top fishes and you just put your stop over the last low or high. So these represent the key levels that we're watching. Key. Kiki, haha. So we're looking, this is the bearish approaches. Now let's look at some bullish approaches. You could be looking for a falling wedge, a stair step, an Adam and Eve, an inverse head and shoulders, or just a tightening pattern. These are all bullish approaches to a key level. But you see what I started with? I didn't start with a pattern first. I started with the key level first. So we have to start out with, what are our market conditions? Let me... Okay, why can I not see this? Maybe you'll be able to see this. What are the market conditions? Okay, the market conditions are bearish right now. What are my key time frames in the most likely scenario? We're looking for 4-hour and hourly lower highs on NASDAQ. What's your edge for the entry and what's your bait? I'm willing to use any of these 4 entry tactics, approaches, in order to top fish NVIDIA. So let's go look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA had 2 upgrades today. They could continue to run over bears, and that would be most anticipated. The hotter it runs into these resistant levels overhead, the more interested I'm in a short scalp. Please listen to my words carefully. Short scalp. Am I just going to jump in blindly? No. I have these key levels. Okay, so we've already broken the pre-market high. Looking at 450 psych, and then I have the Friday 8-4 high. If we extend all the way into that at open, I'm going to be looking for a stair step, a rising wedge, a head and shoulders, a tightening pattern, all the 4 different obvious ways that I bring my edge to the party to look for a top fish. And then a conservative bull is looking for a pullback buy because NVIDIA is super strong. As long as semis remain strong, I don't see this market rolling over and playing dead. I don't see that happening as long as semis are strong. Let's go back to Apple. Mark up your levels. Did it get over yesterday's high? Did it break below yesterday's low? We're opening up in the middle of the range. I don't see a clear setup right now. Amazon is stronger than most. Yesterday's high, yesterday's low, and we're holding yesterday's midday low at 138.54. I'd be looking bullish as long as that holds. How do I use stops if trading options, Mark? I look at my levels. So let's say that I want to buy long down here on Apple. Let's just say I want to bottom fish 137.75. If Apple were to bounce from that 137.75 and I enter long calls, and then Apple breaks below the prior day low, the key level I was using for support, that's where I know I'm wrong. I'm wrong if 137.75 is lost, and I must stop out of my options. So I base my option stops based on the underlying, not the options themselves. NVIDIA, this is bullish until it's not, and if you are not very experienced in going counter trend on these aggressive bull moves looking for a top fish, then you're going to wait for a back burner. You can wait for first 5-minute oversold, first 15-minute oversold. You can wait for a stair step pullback, a tightening pattern pullback, and you could use fib extensions or fibs for your potential targets. There's many ways to slice this animal. NVIDIA should be one of the more volatile names today. Tesla, yesterday's high and low. We're recovering a little bit from pre-market, but this is still pretty much a mess. No clear direction. Again, if semiconductors are trucking higher, they could pull along tech names, consumer discretionary names with them. Okay. Meta. I had another name on my list. What did I do with that? Oh, I had AMD. Real quick, let me put this back up here. That I messed up there. And then, well, I'm just going to leave it that. AMD. So AMD is a potential back burner trade. It's not as strong as NVIDIA this morning. It didn't get all the upgrades, but I think you could still play it in sympathy with NVIDIA's strong move and look for a first 5 or 15 minute oversold during regular trading hours. Meta, weekly holding the EMAs right here, the 8 EMA. Daily, the 50 EMA is below. We filled that gap. We had a bullish candle yesterday, reversal candle. And we have enough room for a 4-hour higher low and an hourly higher low. So bulls are looking to buy dips on Meta against yesterday's low. SMH, plenty of room for a 4-hour and hourly higher low. Will be hard for market to take out lows if semis are holding up. This is the market darling. It went from the market dog to the market darling. So we're holding the hourly 50 MA. We have plenty of room for an hourly higher low, a 4-hour higher low. Where does that get put in? And you could wait for first 15-minute oversold during regular trading hours on semis, AMD, NVIDIA, and even MU had a 6% day yesterday. So big bull days, and you could watch for back burners on those. NVIDIA absolutely ripped faces off yesterday, and I did not see the news till mid-morning. So I missed that Morgan Stanley news on NVIDIA. Let's go back and look at NVIDIA. So the prior day low was 406.39. That was Friday's low. When bears took it below yesterday's low, gap below, re-entered Friday's range on bull volume, there's your sign to go long. And if you would have stayed in long on 5-minute holding EMAs, you would have been in all day. That could have yielded you a $35 run. Now, of course, that's difficult to nail tops and bottoms. However, if you're just trading simple gap rolls, getting above 406.39, that was your long signal on NVIDIA yesterday. And I think those are good to go back and review. Not to beat yourself up, but just say, okay, I know what I'm looking for now. So now we're gapping up. So what does it say about NVIDIA bulls if we're unable to penetrate yesterday's range and we turn and burn? That's a long signal. So that's not the type of short I'm looking for. I'm looking for a short that looks something like a extension up and pull back. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not we get consolidation at open, that could be a long opportunity, not a short opportunity. I'm looking for it to be running with his hair on fire straight into resistance and look for some top fish approaches. Yep, Tesla, Elon steps out. I know, Natasha, I wish I wouldn't have taken Mara off my wish list yesterday, but coulda, woulda, shoulda. Rob, I am not seeing some really clear, of course I love oil on the weekly chart, but it's just not in a good place right now where it is. I like that weekly squeeze. I would say crypto has the most to offer right now with squeezes. Mara is squeezing on the 4-hour and the hourly chart. So Mara, you could possibly bottom fish 1470, see if this Bitcoin can break to the long side. It's showing no signs of wanting to do either break bull or bear. It's just very apathetic. Okay. We got to remove this user. No racist comments will be accepted in any circumstances. None. Zero. Nada. So don't even try it. Don't try me. Don't come for me. I'll send for you. Again, I'm sorry if that offended anyone. Whoever wrote that, I'm sorry if their words offended you. We won't allow that in here. Hey, Al. You're still long nat gas. Good job, Scotty. Let's get by to you. Baidu 13327 is your key support. Again, we had a lot of Asian names that were red overnight, but Baidu is green. That's potential hourly inverse head and shoulders. That's interesting. It's going against the tide. Very interesting. Thank you, Rob, for that. Appreciate that. IRAFIT. Twice in pre-market. It was front run twice. My back burners, 99.9% of the time, I am looking at back burners during regular trading hours. And I try to say that anytime I say regular trading hours, anytime I say back burner, I always try to attach the clarifier in regular trading hours. So I'm always looking for it during regular trading hours. Now, NVIDIA has a ton of volume in after hours, so you could technically look for a 5-minute back burner. These 5-minute back burners keep getting used up in pre-market, so then I wait for a 15-minute oversold in extended hours. But if I have a clear level, I'll use a 5-minute back burner during regular trading hours if I have a clear support to bottom fish. Space. This is a dog. This is George Clinton, Atomic Dog. 308 support. You've got a triple bottom in that area. 308, 311, 308. Disaster of a chart. Tisha was a small cap runner. Let me add something. That just made me think. Oh, that's not it. 1 second. Finally, they don't look around to see what other traders are doing. They do it to learn for comparison. They look at them for inspiration. So there really isn't a lot of room for being super competitive in trading because it can just lead to bad outcomes. Did you get this trade? Did you get that trade? Is anybody looking at this? What does it matter if anybody's looking at anything? Just trade your book. Trade your playbook. Trade your playbook. And that, I mean, comparison is a thief of joy. An absolute thief of joy. Don't fall victim to that. CCJ is holding up just fine. Weekly's beautiful. Daily's beautiful. 4-hour beautiful. Hourly giving a little bit back than bulls would like. You could possibly look for a top fish against yesterday's high. All right, y'all have a wonderful trading day. TCGers, I'll have these notes over to you in just a second. Y'all use stop losses.